Hi, it's John from Crafts by John UK. Today, this huge mess you see in front of you is all of the Christmas cards I've made this year. So what I've decided to do is a bit of a walkthrough video, just showing you some of the different styles I've made, showing you all the different types of cards I've made, some coloured, some stenciled, some inked, all sorts of different ones. If you want to see probably about 70 or 80 different card designs in a video that's about 15 minutes long, it might give you some ideas for Christmas, might give you some inspiration, then stay tuned. Okay, let's get started. So this is the first card I'm going to show you. This is a white on white, which is something quite unusual. It can be a little bit funereal sometimes, but I think this one works. So what I've done, it's a very simple, there's no layers, it's just one layer. I've embossed this with a falling snow embossing folder, so you can see you get that lovely texture. Then I've cut out a simple rectangle, a bit of white ribbon across the back, and then the stamp says, "I'm dreaming of a white Christmas." The idea is a little bit of fun. It's all white. It's white white emboss on white, on white, on white, on a white background. So it's a very, very white Christmas. So I made 4 of those because I thought they were quite cute. So they're a great idea for batch making, quite simple. You could achieve a similar effect in lots of different ways. This one I made 3 of. This is a stamp from Unico and I really love it. The whole thing is one. And all I've done is I created a background with a couple of distress oxides, and water. So I've got a bit of smushing, a bit of staining going on. Then I stamped the image after using a little mat to stop anything sticking. So I've cleaned it before I used embossed powder, and then I've embossed it in gold, and you can see very, very bright, very, very shiny, really nice looking. And then all I've done is I've coloured in the word merry in a kind of pink, because they've all got pink in them. So I thought that was quite cute, and I made 3 of those. Again, suitable for batch making. Let me grab some more from my pot. This one, May Your Christmas Sparkle. This is a cute stamp. I stamped it in black, and then I've coloured in all the balls in different colours, and I've coloured in the edges and then pulled the colour into the middle. I've also given them a bit of sparkle, so you can see they've got a really nice sparkle on, and I've also added some gems into some of them as well, just to bring them to life. And then at the bottom here, I've got May Your Christmas Sparkle, and I've just put a little bit of yellow on that and a little bit of sparkle underneath it as well. So I made several of those. They were quite cute. This one, Jingle All the Way, that's quite cute. This is a tree stamp made by Lavinia, and I've stamped that using distress oxides on the stamp, which I know is quite unusual, but you can get quite a nice faded effect on it. You do need to stamp several times. And I've put a Jingle All the Way across that, and then I've used those same colours in the corners just to give it a bit of interest. So I did a couple of those, and then I did another variant of that in gold. So I coloured the whole background in this time and actually stamped the tree in gold. I think I tried that one first, kind of thought it doesn't really work, so then I ended up reversing it. This one is quite cute. I made a couple of these. Basically, this is a snowman against some music and script, and I used a very modern Unico stencil around the back, and then a little bit of ribbon across and a sentiment mounted above. I thought that was quite cute. This one is cute. This is Luigi the Llama. This is a previous Crafty Individuals stamp. He's really lovely to colour, and all the presents have a lot of details, really nice. Just edge the edge with some distress ink there, just to give it an interesting background. This one is a sweet poppy stamp, I believe. I made a couple of these, quite like this, mistletoe, and I got quite a nice effect on the mistletoe. You can see the actual berries have got a little green tinge to them. Coloured the bauble in blue and left it kind of cloudy to get that kind of reflective effect on it. This one is a die card, and I made several of these, I think. There's 3 or 4 of those, yes. Die cut Christmas tree, just coloured green, splatty background, piece of tracing paper acting as vellum, the cheapest solution, snow embossed white behind, and then just a little tag with some metallic green behind. Made 4 of those. Again, great cards for batch making. This one is a stencil. This is I want to say a sweet poppy stencil, but I'm actually not sure. That might be a Unico stencil. But again, I did splatty backgrounds and then made several of them. And the paste I put through is a really lovely red metallic glitter paste. So that looks really nice. Apologies, my little dog is barking there. Let's grab another block. So This one is quite cute. This one is a teddy bear, which is really cute. This was a freebie stamp, actually, from a crafting magazine that I bought in Tesco's. And I just paired it with this big Joy die, a bit of washi tape on a splatty background. That was a really nice and easy card to make. And I think I made 5 of those. Yep, 5 of those. So that's quite good for batch making. This one is an interesting card. I like this card. It's got a, this is a visible image stamp of a Christmas tree, which I've stamped in black and cut out. Then I've created this background using black paper, some sentiment stamps, a bit of stenciling. You've got a sentiment across, you've got some pearls. Quite a nice looking card, quite different. So I think that's quite nice. I'm actually just going to zoom out a little bit there because I can see that you can't really see all of that. So there you go. That's quite a nice looking card with lots of detail, because this visible image stamp has all this lovely detail on it. I mean, again, you could colour bits and pieces of that in, but I decided to leave it black and white for a very classy look. This one is a one-off. This was just a traditional play, really, with a reflection. So just Father Christmas reflected and the trees reflected. This one, using a Lavinia Fairy stamp for Christmas. So I put the Christmas stencil in the middle, did a kind of starburst coming out of it, a little bit of stamping top and bottom, a sentiment and a couple of gems. Quite a simple, nice card. This one is a one-off. This was just playing with collage, so I had lots of bits left over. Used those bits up, cut some die cut stars out, stuck that under the cool Yule, just made it quite a modern and fresh feeling card. Quite like that. This one, I'm not really sure works. I don't really like it, to be honest, but I'll send it to somebody. This is embossed, but it's embossed on black and it doesn't ever really show up that well, so it's a little bit strange. I did it slightly offset, so I stamped it in white, then I stamped it in green, but I don't think it's really great, but hey, we'll go with it. This one is a die cut which I've stacked, so you can see it's got a lot of depth, and then I've put liquid pearls in the middle here, so you can see I've got like a sort of a painted effect, which is quite interesting on a obviously an embossed background. Quite an interesting card, but again, bit of a one-off. This one, lots of stars. Sorry, I printed this. Then I put this one over the top, but I printed more than I needed of the background, and then cut the die cut out of the same, so you can see the stars match up, which is quite complicated, but kind of ends up with a nice effect. This one was an interesting one. This was playing with embossed powder and all sorts of gems and ephemera kind of stuff, pearls and buttons and things. Quite an interesting look, but again, very different and very easily achievable. Let me grab some more from the box. This one, the most wonderful time of the year. This is cute. This is who did that? All and Create. That's an All and Create figure Christmas tree, and I just put it on an interesting background. This one was a bit of a play, just having a bit of fun with some silver and blue, and I've stamped on the little stars and I've just put strips between them. Quite like that. Pigs in Blankets. Again, this is another one of the freebie stamp I got in Tesco's from the Christmas set last year, from just one of the magazines. Super cute on a background, and I've stenciled obviously on there. We're back on the bear again, Have a Berry Christmas, just a variation on that with a bit of stenciling. Let It Snow, Have a Cool Yule. I think we've already done that one. This one I made, just one of actually. That's using this stencil, which is a Unico stencil with a die cut, Christmas tree, bit of tracing paper pretending to be vellum. This was Unico stencil, really like that, really vibrant. I want to have another play with that and use some gold, but I haven't got around to it yet, so they're quite nice couple of cards. This one's a bit of a kind of shabby card with lots of edges and bits and pieces, with mostly die cut Christmas trees. Again, the freebie set from Tesco's, which you can see I've used a lot. But anyway, just creating different effects. This one, the star kind of coming out of the aperture with the black background, a bit of ribbon. Quite an interesting one. Hopefully these are all useful for people in terms of ideas. This card I hate. I don't really like that at all. I don't think it works very well, but it'll do for somebody. Season's Greetings. I think there's a couple of this mistletoe one with a kind of rollered lined effect. Mainly all about the stamp, which I've and I've coloured that in green, stamped it in green, coloured it in green, and matched it with the edge. So an interesting. This is again an old crafty individual stamp. I think it's maybe a Sharon Bates one, so you can probably get it now from That's Crafty, but there's a few of these because I stamped a whole load and then took ages to colour them, so it's taken me probably about 3 years to get around to colouring them all, but I really like the image. It's quite cute. So I've got about 5 of those. This one is a one-off Christmas tree against the different strips, and it's just a way of using your strips up, and that's a good thing. Anything prominent like a Christmas tree or a snowman or anything, put it in front of some strips, just gives you a white contrast against a coloured background, ends up looking nice. This one, again, is one of those, actually this is a woodware stamp, I believe. So I stamped him, cut him out, stamped behind, and then stuck him down so that he's got a little bit of weight. And this has got just a little bit of plain stenciling underneath. This one's quite an interesting card. I made like 3 or 4 of this. This is a all one stamp, and it's quite interesting. And then I've just coloured in different bits of it, and I've used just torn paper to kind of edge those 2 colours in different ways, and they all ended up looking quite similar. So they were quite nice cards. This card I really like. I made a couple of these. I just love the colour combination. This is an All and Create die set where you get the bit that sits behind with all the rings, and then this bit that sits inside, and I did it all in 2 really bright colours. So this is a big card. This is a 7x7 card, and I added some gems, I added some other stamping, I've added other stamping from that same stag set behind. That looks really nice. Let's have a look what else we've got. This postcard one I do quite like with the cat. He's quite funny, and I've used fluffy stuff on the hat so you can see it's got texture. Love this Sweet Poppy postcard stencil, and then just a naughty or nice, and then I've used some obviously snowflake stencils as well for a bit of stenciling. These ones are cute. This is an All and Create dog, but this is a that's actually an All and Create stencil. Sorry, God, I can't find my words. An All and Create die set with the tag, and it's got an inner and an outer. And then I've stenciled over that with some texture paste, and then gone crazy with the gilding paste and sort of shiny spray stuff to make it look good. But I really love this card. This is one of my favourites I've made this year. I made 4 of those. Yeah, 4 of those actually. They're really nice cards, so people who get them are going to be the people I really like. There's those, and then this one was a tall one. I used this because I just thought it was hilarious. I had this background, the red and blue. I added the red glitter paste on top and just made that look interesting. A similar style with the penguin, similarly cut him out, similar background, similar stenciling, and just a sentiment in the middle. This one I quite like. This is a polar bear on a red background. This is a Katzelcraft stamp, and it's supposed to be a bear, but I've just left him white because I thought I really like the contrast between the red, gold, and the white, and I'm dreaming of a white Christmas stamped in white. I don't usually have much luck stamping in white, but if I use my little anti-static bag, I'll end up okay. Some more. Let's have a look. This is a one-off. This was just a die cut and a play. So that one's just a one-off. This one, similarly, a basic stamping in blue and then just colouring. Again, one-off, basic figure stamping and then colouring. This was, again, the Lavinia Christmas tree, just playing with different ideas. The heart behind, the heart's hanging down. This one was quite cute, a little angel. I've got this set of angel stamps. Christmas ain't over till the fat angel sings, and then put in the background a sentiment stamp. These are all individual sentiments, but they all sit on a block, so you can get a really nice effect. And then obviously I did a blue to green fade in the background. Again, a Lavinia, bit of an experiment that I wasn't too keen on, so I only made one of that. But a little Christmas fairy, and I made it Christmas by colouring the red hat. This one, Little Red Robin, hop, hop, hopping along. I used puffy stuff here on the snow, and then there's also some tree edges coming in. And this is a woodware stamp, I believe, the robin. Again, the visible image Christmas tree, but this time in a bauble with an embossed outer. The Lavinia Christmas trees again, a couple of those. This one again, the die cut. This is just really a weird and wonderful card. A few splats, a gold line, the white, the sentiment. I made a few of that because I just thought I quite liked it. Again, the polar bear, but this time I coloured the background, so I left it all kind of white. So a couple of those. The visible image star again, a couple of variations of that. I had a really good play with that star and the tree this year. I really liked those. So just colouring the insides. The snowman from visible image, Jack Frost. So again, just a basic coloured. I'm nearly there. Holly Jolly Christmas, the funny robins, and I coloured them in a kind of scrappy way. They are woodware stamps, very bold and nice to colour. This one is super cute. I don't actually know who makes this. I think it might be Stamping Bella, but I'm not sure. But I bought it unbranded. But that's a really nice stamp. And then I paired it with this, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. I really love this text in a sort of an Art Deco style. This one, You Made the Nice List. I made 2 or 3 of that. There we go. And he is kind of relief. So you can see he's sort of sitting above. That's got a stamp and matching die set. And then this one, With Love at Christmas, Have a Magical Time. I did 2 or 3 of this one as well. This is an All and Create stamp on a die cut background with the text underneath and some paper in the background. And then this is the last batch, honestly. Again, probably a one-off. The stag in the air, There's a Feeling of Christmas, just layered simply. The hedgehog is quite cute. I got this hedgehog set and I hadn't really used it, so I just stamped a few simple cards and coloured them. A few variations on that. Loving hedgehogs this Christmas. This one, it was a 3D embossed folder, and I'm still not really sure whether I like it or not, but I coloured it over with, I think that is a kind of gilding paste, which has got a real metallic sort of sparkle to it, but I just wasn't ever really convinced about the holly, to be honest. And then this one, I made a few of these. I liked him. He's an All and Create character as well, so I made 5 of those. There we go. And that's all my Christmas cards I've made this year. So there's quite a lot there. Oh, in fact, yeah, no, I am right. That is all of the Christmas cards. So there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. You can see there's a hell of a lot of different varieties of cards. So I shall be doing all the inners for those and getting those written, labelled up and posted at some point soon. So if I zoom all the way out, you can see just how many there are. It's a huge mountain of cards. I think there's about 120 cards there. So anyway, that's me, and hopefully some ideas in there for you for Christmas. And I'd love to see what you make. Share it on my YouTube channel, please, after this post. Thank you very much. Catch you next time. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe to my channel. There are lots of videos on there, including the making of some of these Christmas cards. So if you're interested in a particular design, maybe go and have a look at the various playlists, and you could find a making of tutorial for something that's just caught your eye. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.